Jake Gyllenhaal has been known for some strange roles in his career, from his breakout role in 2001's Donnie Darko to his part as a creepy art critic in 2019's Velvet Buzzsaw. Gyllenhaal has played some very dark characters, but he was nearly cast in the strangest role in the MCU. In 2016, Gyllenhaal was on the shortlist to play Marvel's Sorcerer Supreme in Doctor Strange.
What just happened?
This list included Oscar winners Jared Leto, Matthew McConaughey, and Joaquin Phoenix. Other actors also rumored to be up for the part included Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and Ewan McGregor. While the eye of Agamotto eventually fell on Sherlock's Benedict Cumberbatch, the MCU wasn't through with Gyllenhaal. He would eventually play a character with his particular brand of magic, the techno-illusionist Quentin Beck, better known as Mysterio, opposite Tom Holland in 2019's Spider-Man Far From Home. The sequel was not Gyllenhaal's first acquaintance with the web-slinger. Jake was reportedly also considered for the lead role in the 2002 film, a role that eventually went to Tobey Maguire. Actress Lupita Nyong'o had her breakout role in 2013's 12 Years a Slave.
I don't lie, mess.
Her performance as Patsy won her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, so of course the most natural career move was to go from playing a slave in a Civil War drama to reading for an alien warrior in a comic book movie. Nyong'o tried out for the role of Nebula in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. While her strong performance in 12 Years would have served her well, the part went to Doctor Who star Karen Gillan. However, her audition left such an impression on the MCU brass that they made her a straight offer for a substantial role. She landed the part of Nakia in 2018's Black Panther. Nakia had to balance her duties as a spy for the African nation of Wakanda and her love for King T'Challa, also known as Black Panther. In a 2019 interview with the website Cassius Life, MCU casting director Sarah Finn reveals that she reached out to Nyong'o based on her incredible, exceptional talent. At the end of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passes the iconic shield of Captain America to Sam Wilson, while bypassing his lifelong friend, Bucky Barnes. This incident wasn't the first time that Bucky or the actor inhabiting the part didn't get to take on the role of the Star-Spangled Avenger.
Come on!
Actor Sebastian Stan was one of several young performers who were considered for the lead role in Captain America: The First Avenger. Instead, Stan took the role of Bucky, Steve Rogers' best friend who appeared to have perished during a secret mission. In the sequel, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Stan took on the role of a brainwashed Bucky sent to fight Cap. In the third installment's Captain America: Civil War, Tony Stark learns that the Winter Soldier was responsible for the death of his parents. In a 2018 interview, Stan admitted that things worked out for him, as his take on Captain America's character would have been much darker.
I don't know.
Stan will keep the role alive in the upcoming Disney Plus series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, scheduled for later this year. Actress Karen Gillan has had her share of adventurous roles. As Amy Pond on Doctor Who, she explored time and relative dimensions in space inside a blue police call box. As the butt-kicking Ruby Roundhouse in the Jumanji franchise, she battled baboons and jaunted through jungles. But nothing could prepare her for her role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Captain America's love interest. The leggy lass from Inverness, Scotland, had initially auditioned for the role of Sharon Carter, aka Agent 13, in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The role, which went to Emily Von Camp, involved Sharon spying on Steve Rogers from an apartment across the hall from his. Instead, casting director Sarah Finn had Gillan read for the role of Nebula in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. In the Disney Plus special Casting a Universe, Finn described her process in casting Gillan. Even though she had never played a character like Nebula, I was really interested to see her read. Karen has this kind of cherubic beauty, mixed with the darkness that she was able to convey. Chadwick Boseman's list of roles reads like a who's who of African-American heroes. Boseman played legendary baseball player Jackie Robinson in 42, the godfather of soul James Brown in Get On Up, and future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. So it would only make sense for him to play the most visible African comic book hero, right? Well, it almost didn't happen that way. Boseman had initially auditioned for the role of Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, a role that went to former WWE champion Dave Bautista.
You know who I am, yes?
Much like his co-star Lupita Nyong'o, Boseman wouldn't get the part in James Gunn's space adventure. Instead, he landed the lead role in Black Panther alongside Nyong'o. In a 2019 interview with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, Boseman described the audition process. Sometimes it's the way it works as an actor. You go in knowing you're not gonna get the part, but you're meeting the people that might be like, it's not this, but we'll put him in this other thing. I feel like this was one of those moments where they were like, we could use him later. Today, most movie fans can't imagine anyone else in the role of Tony Stark other than Robert Downey Jr. In 2008, executives at the fledgling Marvel Studios weren't as optimistic about Downey's ability to play the lead in Iron Man. Downey had spent almost as much time in jail or drug rehab as he had on a movie set. Director Jon Favreau fought to get the studio brass to cast Downey. However, if the studio had held firm, Favreau was ready to consider another option. Sam Rockwell was coming off major roles in films such as Confessions of a Dangerous Mind and The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. In a 2010 interview with the Los Angeles Times, Favreau mentioned that he was considering Rockwell for the part of the Armored Avenger. There were some things Rockwell would bring to the role that would have been great, Favreau said. Sam would have come up with interesting and different things. Rockwell would make his way into the MCU in Iron Man 2 as Justin Hammer, a business rival to Tony Stark. Since his breakout role as a teenage drug dealer in the HBO series The Wire, actor Michael B. Jordan's career has been on the rise.
It's beautiful.
His role as a World War II fighter pilot in Red Tails showed that the sky was the limit for this promising young actor. His critically acclaimed roles in Chronicle and Fruitvale Station kept his career soaring. The only thing that kept Michael Jordan from taking to the air was his lack of wings. Jordan nearly remedied that issue when he read for the part of Sam Wilson in 2014's Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Although the part went to Anthony Mackie, Jordan landed another superhero role in Marvel's First Family. But outside the MCU, Jordan starred as Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, in Chronicle director Josh Tranks's 2015 version of Fantastic Four. After the film received less than fantastic reviews, Jordan would trade in his tights for boxing trunks in Creed. Jordan would officially join the MCU in Black Panther as Eric Killmonger Stevens, an American mercenary who would usurp the throne of Wakanda. Speaking of Anthony Mackie, he shared a similar fate to Jordan's. While Jordan read for the part that went to Mackie, Mackie read for the part that went to an Oscar winner. Also, while Jordan read for a heroic part and was later cast as a villain, Mackie read for a villainous part and ended up as a hero. In the auditions for Iron Man 3, Mackie read for the part of the Mandarin, leader of the Ten Rings terrorist group and arch-enemy of Tony Stark. The part eventually went to Sir Ben Kingsley, who won an Oscar for his performance in 1982's Gandhi. While there's no shame in losing a part to an Academy Award winner, Mackie's efforts didn't go unnoticed. His screen test for the Mandarin earned him a meeting with Marvel higher-ups, including Winter Soldier co-director Joe Russo. Russo then cast Mackie as Sam Wilson, an Air Force veteran and test pilot for an experimental wingsuit. Mackie will take flight with his Falcon wings and hoist his red, white, and blue shield in the upcoming The Falcon and the Winter Soldier series on Disney+. Another MCU character who's getting their own Disney Plus series is the Norse god of mischief. Loki picks up where the character left off in Avengers Endgame after the acerbic Asgardian pilfered the 2012 version of the Space Stone. Tom Hiddleston will reprise the role he crafted in 2011's Thor, in which he tormented his blonde, buff brother. The story of how Hiddleston landed the role involves another bit of mischief. When he auditioned for the film, he didn't read for the part of Loki. He tried out for the role of the God of Thunder, Thunder, which later went to Aussie actor Chris Hemsworth. In a 2019 Tonight Show interview, Hiddleston explained what happened. "I never auditioned for Loki," he told Jimmy Fallon. "I only ever auditioned for Thor, which is nuts." Director Kenneth Branagh gave his take in a 2015 interview on The Graham Norton Show. "It was a very sort of brilliant kind of pitch for that part. He came in and wowed the room as Loki and as Thor. Fair play to Tom. He just went for it." To fans of the comedy Parks and Recreation, the character of Andy Dwyer is a true American hero. After his run on the beloved show, actor Chris Pratt almost got his chance to play a more famous American hero.
Thank you.
According to casting director Sarah Finn, Pratt was up for the role of Captain America in the first Avenger. At one point, Finn favored Pratt over the eventual shield slinger Chris Evans. "I kept insisting that Chris Pratt was the guy for the part," said Finn, "but Chris didn't want to play the part and refused to audition." Although Finn eventually talked Pratt into reading, the part went to the then largely unknown Evans. However, Finn later influenced Pratt into reading for director James Gunn's newest project, Guardians of the Galaxy. Pratt initially balked at auditioning, especially for a little-known property and a role called Star-Lord. "I was really happy when I finally got them together," Finn said. "It was honestly one of those eureka moments that we talk about in casting. James turned to me within 10 seconds and said, 'He's the guy.'"